Hello and welcome to Fast and Factual. I'm Utsaf Parekh and I'll take you through the top 50 stories of the day. Let's begin. What comes as a big relief for former Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan, the Islamabad High Court has stayed the ongoing Tosha Khana case proceedings against him. The High Court has further granted 2 weeks interim relief to Khan. It has also sent notice to the NAB over Imran Khan's illegal arrest on Tuesday. Ukraine has released a video showing soldiers storming Russian positions near Bakhmut. A Ukrainian soldier was heard saying, "What can we do? Kill them all, that's what we can do." He was off camera as his brothers-in-arms stormed the enemy positions. The chief of Russia's Wagner military group has said that Ukrainian operations were proving to be, unfortunately, partially successful. Sudan's warring factions have committed to protect civilians and the movement of humanitarian aid. This news came early this morning. However, the two sides did not agree to a ceasefire and remain far from a permanent peace. The Army and the Rapid Support Forces paramilitary group say they will schedule subsequent expanded discussions to achieve a permanent cessation of hostilities. Previous ceasefire agreements have been repeatedly violated, leaving civilians to navigate a terrifying landscape of chaos and bombardment. Saudi Arabia's foreign ministry has welcomed its sponsored agreement of principles between the warring Sudanese factions. Sudan's warring factions signed a declaration that they would work towards a short-term ceasefire in future discussions. Meanwhile, before the latest agreement on Thursday, clashes continued to rock entry points to Sudan's capital, Khartoum. The US and China agreed to put the spy balloon row behind them during 2 days of talks between top officials in Austria. The White House announced that US National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan and China's top diplomat Wang Yi met on Wednesday and Thursday in Vienna. The two officials discussed a range of topics, including Russia's invasion of Ukraine and China-Taiwan issues. The US has deported 3 flights full of Guatemalan migrants on Thursday. 2 of the 3 flights were the last ones to return under Title 42. Additionally, over 100 migrants were deported on an earlier flight under the new regulation known as Title 8. The US has deported over 61,000 Guatemalans under Title 42 between September 2020 and May 2023. The US ambassador to South Africa has accused the country of providing weapons and ammunition to Russia. The US claims weapons are being sent through a cargo ship linked to a sanctioned company. According to the US, the ship docked secretly at a naval base near the city of Cape Town in December. If South Africa is found sending weapons to Russia, it will likely jeopardize its relationship with the United States. Turkey's defense minister has said that parties to the Black Sea Grain Pact are nearing a deal to extend it. The statement comes after talks between Ukrainian, Russian, Turkish and UN officials. Meanwhile, Russia has threatened to quit the agreement on May 18th over obstacles to its grain and fertilizer exports. 2 days of talks in Istanbul had appeared to end without Russian agreement on an extension. The foreign ministers of Turkey, Syria, Russia and Iran have met in Moscow. These are the highest-level negotiations on rebuilding ties between Ankara and Damascus after years of animosity during Syria's civil war. Turkey is hosting more than 3.5 million refugees from neighboring Syria. Syrian and Turkish defense ministers last held talks in Moscow in December. A Turkish presidential candidate, Muharrem İnce, withdrew from the race yesterday. This is after the release of a purported sex tape. However, İnce has alleged that the sex tape circulating online is a deep fake, using footage taken from a quote-unquote Israeli porn site. İnce contested and lost to Recep Tayyip Erdogan in the 2018 Turkish presidential election. Turkey is set to go to polls this Sunday. Twitter CEO Elon Musk has said that he has found a new chief executive for the social media platform. However, he did not name his replacement. Musk added he will transition to being executive chair and CTO, overseeing product, software, and SysOps. According to media reports, Comcast NBC Universal executive Linda Yasserino is the front runner for the job. Pope Francis has said that starting a family in Italy is becoming a quote-unquote titanic effort that only the rich can afford. The Pope went on to warn that savage free market conditions were preventing the young from having children. Births in Italy dropped below 400,000 in 2022 for the first time, registering a 14th consecutive annual fall. The country's overall population has declined by 179,000 to 58.85 million. A court in the Philippines has acquitted former Senator Leila de Lima. De Lima is facing a criminal charge alleging that she had received money from drug dealers while she was a cabinet minister. Interestingly, she is one of the fiercest critics of ex-president Rodrigo Duterte. 63-year-old De Lima has been in detention for the past 6 years. However, she will not be released immediately because of another case pending in court. China's Shenzhou 15 astronauts have entered the Tianzhou 6 cargo spacecraft. They will unload goods and equipment after the cargo craft's docking with the orbiting Tiangong space station. Other than clothing and other essentials, supplies on board Tianzhou 6 include stem cell experimental units. Tianzhou 6 was launched on Wednesday atop a Long March 7 rocket. Evacuations are on at a small mountainside village in Switzerland. A collapsing mountainside is threatening the village of Brienz. Authorities have ordered evacuations in the village with less than 100 people amid fear of a landslide. Swiss authorities report that climate change has put Switzerland at risk of increased natural disasters. A 5.2 magnitude earthquake has left several injured in Japan's Tokyo Bay area. The Chiba prefecture and downtown Tokyo were also affected by the earthquake. Nearly 3,000 elevators stopped working and building windows developed cracks after the natural disaster. However, no casualties were reported. US President Joe Biden has announced sweeping curbs on planet warming emissions from the country's power stations. The plans would target fossil fuel electricity production. Gas and coal-fired plants will be encouraged to meet tighter emission reduction standards. The policy is in line with Biden's pledge to halve US emissions by 2030 compared to the 2005 levels. The Spanish government has approved over $2.4 billion in aid for farmers to cope with drought. The measures will help farmers maintain production and avoid food shortages. The funds will also be directed towards increasing the availability of water. Spain is currently facing its hottest and driest April on record. Floods and landslides in eastern parts of the Democratic Republic of Congo have claimed 438 lives. Locals report that over 5,000 people remain missing. As per reports by the United Nations, over 3,000 houses have been affected in the flood-hit region. The Australian government has approved a new coal mine for the first time since it came to power last year. The mine is expected to produce about 500,000 tons of metallurgical coal in the next 5 years. This is coal that's used in the production of steel. However, scientists and climate campaigners have warned that any new fossil fuel projects are not compatible with global climate goals. British e-commerce retailer THG has ended buyout talks with private equity firm Apollo Global Management. This sent THG's shares tumbling 20%. The retailer said that there was no merit in further discussions on the deal. It rejected Apollo's proposal based on inadequate valuations. Separately, Apollo has said that it does not plan to make further offers to the British company. Japanese conglomerate Toshiba has said that it's working with private equity firm Japan Industrial Partners to complete its proposed buyout. In March, JIP had offered to buy Toshiba for nearly $15 billion. The company believes that this deal will help it build a stable management base. Shares of US lender PacWest Bancorp tanked 23%. This was after the bank said that its deposits had declined. Reports say that PacWest's deposits fell by $1.5 million last week. This was the equivalent of 9.5% of its deposits. Deposits in the bank had fallen after reports say that it was exploring financial options, including a potential sale. Ride-hailing firm Lyft is officially discontinuing shared rides. Lyft was the first to launch shared rides in 2014. Competitor Uber later followed up with the introduction of Uber Pool. This marks CEO David Risher's latest change to Lyft's business strategy. In April, Risher had announced that he would cut the company's workforce by 26%. That was one of Risher's first moves after being appointed as the CEO. Uber-owned online grocer Corner Shop will eliminate 11% of its workforce. This will affect about 250 employees in the company. Reports suggest that the majority of the job cuts are concentrated in the South American nation of Chile. Corner Shop operates primarily in South America and Canada. Toyota Motors has found that vehicle data of more than 2 million users were compromised. The data was publicly available for about a decade. The incident continued from November 2013 till April this year. The company has said that the leaked data included details such as vehicle locations and identification numbers. However, Toyota has said that so far there have been no reports of misuse of the data. Tinder is updating its community guidelines. As part of the updates, it will automatically remove users' social media handles from their bios. Tinder has said that its platform should not be used for gaining followers on other social media platforms. However, users can still use Tinder's Instagram integration to share their Instagram profile with their matches. Indian online brokerage firm Zerodha has created an internal artificial intelligence policy. Zerodha CEO Nitin Kamath took to Twitter to clarify the policy. Referring to AI tools, he said, and I quote, "We will not fire anyone on the team just because we have implemented a new piece of technology." This comes in light of growing concerns that AI tools have put people's jobs at risk. Social media giant Meta has become the latest tech firm to join the generative AI tool race. The company has said that it will begin testing AI-powered ad tools. These tools will be able to generate image backgrounds from text commands. As per reports, the company will also invite a select group of advertisers to test the tools. Twitter has released its encrypted messaging service to all its verified users. This means all Twitter Blue subscribers get the feature. Twitter Blue is the company's paid subscription service. It offers a wide range of options, including a blue tick verification badge. Reports suggest that as of now, encryption is limited to personal messages. It is not compatible with group messages. Moving on to sports, Indian shooters Sarabjot Singh and T.S. Divya won the mixed team gold at the World Cup. The Shooting World Cup is being held in Azerbaijan's capital city, Baku. The Indian duo won 16-14 in the finals in the 10-meter air pistol event. This was India's second medal at the Shooting World Cup. Earlier, Rhythm Sangwan won a bronze in the 10-meter air pistol. Rajasthan Royals' leg spinner Yuzvendra Chahal also has become the highest wicket taker in IPL history. His record-breaking feat came against Kolkata Knight Riders. Chahal was tied with Dwayne Bravo on 183 IPL wickets. The 32-year-old set the new record after dismissing Kolkata's captain Nitish Rana in yesterday's match. Chahal claimed 4 wickets for 25 runs against KKR, taking his IPL wicket tally to 187. Some more good news for Rajasthan Royal fans. Rajasthan opener Yashasvi Jaiswal set a new record for the fastest 50 in the IPL. Jaiswal came out guns blazing and scored his 50 in just 13 balls. He broke the previous record held by KL Rahul and Pat Cummins for their 14-ball 50s. Jaiswal went on to smash an unbeaten 98 runs to take his side to a massive 9-wicket win over Kolkata Knight Riders. Rajasthan Royals batter Josh Butler has been fined 10% of his IPL match fees. Butler breached IPL's code of conduct during the match against Kolkata Knight Riders yesterday. Butler admitted to the Level 1 offence under Article 2.2 of the IPL's code. Level 1 offences usually relate to abuse of equipment and clothing or dissenting against the umpire. However, the reason for the fine remains unclear. In football, Lionel Messi returns to the Paris Saint-Germain playing 11 squad. Messi will return to the field as PSG host Ajaccio on Saturday in the Ligue 1. Messi was suspended from the team after making an unauthorized trip to Saudi Arabia. After apologizing to his team, the Argentine footballer was allowed back into the squad. After playing for PSG for the last 2 years, Messi is likely to join Saudi Arabian side Al Hilal in the upcoming season. West Ham United beat AZ Alkmaar of the Netherlands 2-1 in the Europa Conference League semi-final. Hosts West Ham surged back with 2 goals after trailing Alkmaar throughout the first half. Syed Benrahma and Mikel Antonio scored to secure West Ham's victory. West Ham are 1 win away from reaching a European final. In tennis, Sofia Kenin shocked world number 2 Aryna Sabalenka at the Italian Open. The American beat the Belarusian 7-6, 6-2 in a high-octane second-round match. Sabalenka wobbled through the match and squandered 3 chances to break Kenin's serve. The players traded volleys, but Kenin sailed through following unforced errors by Sabalenka. The world number 2's shock defeat comes a week after she won the Madrid Open. Russia is considering boycotting the fencing qualifiers for the Paris Olympic Games in 2024. This comes after 4 Russian gold medalists were banned by the International Fencing Federation. The 4 fencers are affiliated to Moscow's Army Sports Club. Russian athletes are allowed to compete as neutrals. However, athletes affiliated to the military are banned from participating in the Olympics. Meanwhile, Denmark, Germany, Norway and Poland have refused to participate if Russian fencers are allowed to compete. In golf, the DP World Tour has sanctioned and suspended 26 players for breaching rules. Golfers were fined for playing in the Live Golf and Asian Tour events without permission. Golfers have been fined anywhere between $15,000 to $125,000 depending on the breach. Additionally, the golfers have been suspended for up to 8 DP World Tour events. In basketball, the Denver Nuggets beat Phoenix Suns to reach the Western Conference Finals. Nuggets beat the Suns 125-100. Nikola Jokic scored 32 points with 12 assists and 10 rebounds for the Denver. The Nuggets will face either Los Angeles Lakers or the Golden State Warriors in the conference finals. K-pop band BTS is ready to release a tell-all official book on their 10th anniversary. The book is titled Beyond the Story, 10-Year Record of BTS. It will be published by the American publisher Flatiron Books in English and Korean. It will release on the 9th of July in Korea and the US. The all-girl K-pop group New Jeans is set to hold their first ever fan meeting. The event is titled Bunnies Camp and it will be based on a summer camp theme. It will take place on the 1st and 2nd of July in Seoul in Korea. Fan club pre-sales will be held on the 26th of May, whereas general ticket sales will begin on the 31st of May. Actor Jane Fonda has expressed solidarity with the writers at the Writers Guild of America strike. She said that she understands why the writers are striking. She added that she's very supportive of the action. Fonda spoke during the promotions of her next film, Book Club: The Next Chapter. Late actor Paul Walker's daughter, the model Meadow Walker Thornton Allen, is honoring his legacy. She will be making a cameo in the upcoming Fast X film. The film is the 10th and latest installment in the action film franchise Fast and Furious. Walker played the role of an undercover officer in the films. He died in a car crash at the age of 40. Indian actor Alia Bhatt has been signed as fashion house Gucci's first Indian global ambassador. With this, she joins the ranks of Gucci's global ambassadors like actor Dakota Johnson and singer Harry Styles. She said that Gucci's legacy has always inspired her. Bhatt will make her debut as the brand's face at the Gucci Cruise 2024 show in Seoul. Indian actor and former Miss World is set to make her Cannes debut this year. She joins another Indian actor, Anushka Sharma, as a first-time guest at the festival. The Cannes Film Festival will take place from the 16th to the 27th of May. The dates for the Sundance Film Festival 2024 have been announced. The festival will be held between the 18th and the 28th of January. The 40th anniversary edition will take place in Utah in the United States. Submissions for the festival have also opened. The MTV Europe Music Awards will be held in Paris this year. This will mark the event's return to the French capital for the first time since 1995. The show will be broadcast live on MTV in over 150 countries on the 5th of November. The official episode titles and plot synopses for Season 6 of sci-fi series Black Mirror have been announced. The new season will feature 5 episodes with actors like Salma Hayek and Aaron Paul. Season 6 will premiere in June. The 58th edition of the Academy of Country Music Awards took place in the US last evening. Singer Chris Stapleton was awarded the top prize of Entertainer of the Year. Meanwhile, singer Ed Sheeran made his debut with a duet with Luke Combs. The musician sang Life Goes On from Sheeran's latest album. That's all for today's edition of Fast and Factual. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to Firstpost.